Mr. DJ.
Hey, check this out. We got a great show coming your way.
From the ECSI Sports Studios, it's the Midday Market Report with Jeff Dawson.
Good afternoon, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your Midday Market Report for Friday, February 24th, 2023. Yes, the weekend is here. Yes, just 4 days. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 days left in February. Wednesday, March 1st already. Bring on Conference Championship Week. Bring on Selection Sunday. Bring on March Madness. We are here and ready. And what better way to start the weekend off is when we get an opportunity to bring in this gentleman here, a professional poker player, professional sports gambler himself, the one and only Mr. Tyler Wyatt. Good afternoon, sir.
Battling the technology. I battled the poker gods. The best technology gods are against us this week.
Well, we'll muscle through this, Tyler. We'll do our best. If it gets too crazy, we'll try to figure it out. If not, obviously, we have many opportunities coming your way here throughout 2023 and beyond. You talked about the poker gods. We spoke to you Wednesday night on Sports Map Radio. Myself and Anthony Pepe. You were amongst some poker tournaments during the week. Give us your poker update.
Yeah, no cashes. Ofer airballed all the tournaments. Won a little loss, but yeah, didn't leave with a ring. So will not be a participant in the 2020 yet, but it's just February, so still got 10 more months for that. But yeah, big poker year coming this year, and hopefully a big end to college. That's more important. Poker's kind of on the back burner for now. That'll be a little more of a focus as baseball season. But yeah, poker hadn't been great in February. Sports betting has been pretty good though.
Buddy of mine looking at some smaller tournaments leading up to the World Series in July in Vegas. Do you tiptoe out to Vegas in the start of the World Series in June, or you stay local, travel the East Coast and pick your spots, or do you go out to Vegas for once the big tournaments do begin?
I prefer mixed games. So yeah, my schedule when the stud high low, when stud Omaha low, and when the tournaments are won't be looking to play the main event, maybe something, but yeah, my schedule will be dictated just on when the Omaha, when the high low games are being played. But yeah, right now I'll probably be in there that second week. The rest I'll be in Indiana in May is a from me there, Southern Indiana, about 4 hours from here. Cherokee, 2 hours. That we have to go to states that allow that in Tennessee or in other states. It's crazy that now in almost 40 states, it's still it makes me furious that I can't on the WSOP site unless I'm in Nevada or in New Jersey. It gets me really mad actually thinking about it. But yeah, so I'll play Indiana, be up there in May, and then we'll head out to Vegas for the series. We'll look to probably try to get out there the second weekend of March Madness opening weekend. And now that I've gotten older, it's just too much. Great to go out there, for the first time or first couple of times. As you get older, I think the second spot for March Madness. Yeah, so look to get to Vegas a couple of times this summer. But yeah, big right now focusing just on college basketball and then into poker a little bit.
College basketball. I have to ask you this before we dive into some college hoops. Some of our guests this week have been talking college baseball, and a lot more books are offering college baseball. And we do a Big Ten preview with Riley from Chicago, and he focuses on football and he focuses on basketball. And I said, kiddingly, we should start Fridays talking about some Big Ten baseball. Season ramped up, warming up. The kids back east, they're heading down south to play some ball. Are you into the college baseball?
I'm not a huge. I live in Knoxville. I spend most of the year. My home base, I guess. Although I'm not here all that often. Tennessee baseball last season kind of formed. Tony Vitello done a fantastic job in building a brand. Building Tennessee. People that are in their 20s or early 30s, they don't really remember Tennessee as being a base. They're really, really good baseball program when Todd Helton was there through the 90s, number of College Worlds. And then kind of just it went away. It's pretty cyclical, I think, in nature, like college sports. But Tony Vitello is really kind of injected in the area for college baseball. They're putting a lot of here in about a year and a half. They'll have a completely new stadium over, super nice. They have a double-A team here. Used to be with the Cubs in their ballpark to downtown, so they'll play a lot of those games. A lot of their Tennessee games will be facility. Tennessee right now, college football. Heupel brought excitement back to college football, but for the last almost 2 years, it was college baseball, college basketball, and then football in terms of the excitement. It's surpassed that now, but this college baseball program with what they're a little disappointment if you were to ask Tennessee fans or people throughout the state, a little more. But this is a team started out a little rough, went out to played a tournament there in the desert, went over, losing 2 tough games. Came back in the last 2 they played on Tuesday and Wednesday, run ruled both games. 5th, I think, on Wednesday. So that offense is fixed some things. Transfer from Kansas that is not eligible right now, but will be one of the names that you hear in the Major League Baseball upcoming draft. Kid is phenomenal. Ball for me is more of I'll go to the games and just enjoy them. I haven't focused in capping it, mostly because the markets you really can't get a whole lot of money down one books that even try to entertain making numbers on a lot of the games. A little more focused now because it's becoming a little more popular, but until you can 8 or 10, 12 shops to kind of pick and choose from, until it's a little more common, won't. But I do love it as just as a sports guy. I love pro baseball, college baseball. To kind of it's coming back into feet. It was when pro baseball, when they had the strikes, and for people looked for other things. College baseball, I think, was helped by that. Because I think college baseball now you see it on TV more and more. It's probably as healthy as it's been in a long time. But from a handicapping point, not anything that I focus.
SEC, your Wildcats are rounding into form, and nice win on Wednesday at Florida. Give us your Wildcat update. And I told you backstage that I had a couple numbers that were kind of like, wow, be interested to see what your numbers are. But how's the field how's the temperature in Wildcat country?
It's much warmer now than it was the first of the year. Certainly there was I probably ingest as much sports talk radio or content as anyone. I listen to a lot of Kentucky sports radio. I don't want to say every call was Fire Cal in January, but three out of every two, a lot of the bigger sports talk programs in Kentucky were who are we going to hire? Who are we bringing in? And that has the number one overall class in next year. He has a kid in Wagner, one player in the country, in all likelihood, could be number one player chosen in the 24 draft. But it's a Kentucky team that has turned the corner. I think they were in late December and early January. Oscar Shibwe was the only player. That's changed. Kason Wallace has bought in. Jacob Toppin understands his role now. You had Xavier Wheeler go out with an injury. And I don't want to about him because he led the SEC in assists 2 years ago. He does a lot of really good things. For some other guys to come in and step up. And this team, I think, is now better for it. To be interesting to see how Cal reinserts him back into the lineup. Does he let him come off the bench? But this Kentucky team now is playing solid basketball. Limited offensively. They only have a couple of guys that are capable of taking out of creating their own shot. But they're playing really, really, really sound defense. And impressive win against Texas A&M, against Mississippi State, catapulted them into that Tennessee game. They were able to hold off Tennessee there in Lexington. Now you're talking about a Kentucky team that will get a first-round bye in the SEC championship. Auburn, I have Kentucky 3.2. Interesting to see where the books open that. I think it's probably somewhere really close to 4. With an ugly loss this week. It's an Auburn team that needs to get a couple of wins before to have a chance to be that 6th or 7th team out of the SEC into the tournament. As bad now, Auburn, as Kentucky did probably 2 weeks ago. So this should be a really – so I want to say objectively to Kentucky because it's in – game we're in Auburn, I think it would be a coin toss. But it should be a really, really good game Saturday. Kentucky with a win against Auburn. I don't want to say that they are in the SEC with A&M and Alabama certainly, but I think a dangerous team. Their odds, I think, in the next week, they were a 40 to 45 range championship as a flyer. I see that number dropping down into the 30s probably if they can. I think, if you wanted to sprinkle a little bit on, if you're looking for a team this year, which I think this season, it would not surprise me at all if there are multiple. If you look right now at the screen, teams that are 40-1 to higher, there are 3 or 4 of those in the Sweet 16 this year. It's as up and down as any.
I think we might have lost him.